Eyewitness News 5 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome once again to Weatherford, Oklahoma. We will show you a closer look at this town. We've had a great day so far. But first, we're updating you now on late-breaking news regarding the basketball team in Oklahoma City, possibly.
That's right, and Mark Rogers joins us now. And Mark, we watched the press conference earlier. Some businessmen here from Oklahoma City now buying the Seattle Supersonics. What does this all mean for us here?
That's a great question. I don't think we're quite sure what it means exactly right now. We do know this, that Clay Bennett and a group of investors do own 100% of the Seattle Supersonics. We don't know whether that means Seattle will be coming to Oklahoma City in 2007-8, or if they're ever coming to Oklahoma City. The Sonics right now are at odds with the city over a lease that's not to the team's liking. They have demanded a new arena. The sale will put pressure on the city with new ownership. Clay Bennett will negotiate with Seattle, but so far the Emerald City is failing to give the green light for a new arena.
Well, certainly, ultimately, we hope for basketball in Oklahoma City, but it's unrelated to this transaction. We are committing to a 12-month process by which we will act in good faith and give our best efforts to develop a successor facility.
12 months is the time that the city has now to negotiate with Clay Bennett for a possibility of a new arena, or he said he would be open to discussing renovations to the current key arena there. The lease, as we said, is not a favorable one for the team. Now, how does this affect the Hornets in Oklahoma City and the future of basketball in Oklahoma City? Terry Watkins is standing by at the Ford Center, is where the mayor, Mick Cornett, had a press conference this afternoon. Terry?
Well, Mark, you know, at this time last year, nobody could imagine, okay, well, a few civic leaders could imagine that there would be an NBA team in Oklahoma City. Now, everybody's talking about not just one, but two teams that could have their sights on Oklahoma City. A year ago, Oklahoma City became an NBA town, a New Orleans, Oklahoma City town. The names of the companies that are scattered through the stadium are the same ones that today announced they had bought an NBA team. Not in Oklahoma City, but Seattle. So what does it mean?
But I think the fact that people are going to connect the dots here and say, wait a minute, Commissioner Stern said this city was #1 on the relocation list. The Seattle franchise was considered the most likely to be relocating. Some deal must be in the works. I understand all those theories, but there's been no deal.
And the Hornets?
I can't really comment on what the Sonics are doing or what Mr. Bennett and his group are doing. I know what we're doing, which is getting ready for 06-07 here in Oklahoma City and New Orleans and focusing on our eventual return to New Orleans full-time.
So for right now,
we don't know. Obviously, these are good problems to have. These are good situations to have lining up for Oklahoma City. And who would have thought a year ago that we'd be sitting here having a conversation about one or possibly two NBA franchises that had some degree of interest in eventually locating in Oklahoma City.
Now, it's going to take months before this whole thing shakes out. That's the one thing everybody agrees to. In the meantime, there's only one thing for sure. They're going to be playing basketball in that arena come this fall. Reporting live at the Ford Center, Terry Watkins, Eyewitness News 5.
Thanks, Terry. That is very, very good news. Now, coming up a little bit later on in sports, we will tell you about the Sonics, just who is on that team's roster, possibly when we could see them here in Oklahoma City. And don't forget about the Seattle Storm, the WNBA franchise. We also talk with a local girl, Kelly Litch, maybe the greatest basketball player in Oklahoma women's history, and what she thinks about the WNBA franchise possibly relocating here to Oklahoma City. All that coming up a little bit later in Sports Extra.
A lot of factors to consider right now, Mark. All right, thank you.
Mark, thank
now, back to the reason we are here right now.